Welcome back, fellas, to the Week 13 review and the final week of the regular season review. It seems like we started just a couple weeks ago. Now we're here. But first things first, Zesty Williams knocks off Cobra yet again, 144.04 to 134.98. Both now with playoff spots. I'm sure that Cobra does not, I repeat, does not want to see Zesty Williams in that semifinal, in that conference championship, in the playoffs. And in other villains division action, the two best buddies, the best friends that anybody could have, Irish Goodbyes knocks off Second City Saints 169.62 to 103.24. And there goes Second City Saints playoffs hopes and aspirations. Irish Goodbyes now locking in a spot in the playoffs. We will see if he can move on to the conference championship and beat Zesty Williams to get there. Cheeeesehead. Been a while since I feel like since I've said his name in winning fashion. 143.20 to 123.24. He knocks off the opposite division, Cero Miedo, which opposite division, the Guardians looking strong with a couple of 9-4 teams and one 10-3 team. Cero Miedo gonna need a lot this week for that number one seed. And Jay Resendez 3, the reigning, defending, undisputed champion, knocks off your tribal chief 145.86 to 106.84. Jay Resendez 3 looking confident, looking as gracious as ever heading into the playoffs, currently as the number one seed. Can he hold on to it as he is defending his championship this season? And in a surprise, Knuck, if you buck, knocks off the ThePatriotWay 148.24 to 141.32. Our unsanctioned talk game of the week lived up to every bit of the hype. And wow, what an upset. The ThePatriotWay not looking too good these last few weeks heading into the postseason. But we will see if he can turn that around this week. Game of the week winner for week 13, obviously Knuck, if you buck, picking up the dub over the ThePatriotWay, as he has cemented his spot in the shit-offs. Highest scoring team of the week 13, Irish Goodbyes with 169.62. Finally got somebody else other than the usual two to four people. Irish Goodbyes looking good heading into the postseason as the reigning, defending, shit-off champion. High scoring starter for week 13, owned by Cheeeesehead. A.J. Brown scoring 37.20. Not usually what we're accustomed to seeing from the highest scoring starter, but highest scoring starter nonetheless. Some other notable highs: Jared Goff helped Sweet Pete in victory, as well as Bijan Robinson. Brock Bowers helped helped Irish Goodbyes. And Jason Myers helped out, well, not so much Soto Miedo and Seahawks defense for the champ. Your tribal chief kicking off bench warmers, even with Jordan Love, probably not enough. Soto Miedo left Jacoby Brissett and Cortland Sutton. The ThePatriotWay left Patrick Mahomes and Jameson Williams. Cobra left Terry McLaurin, and Second City Saints another tough week with nothing to show for it. And now updated team banks now reflect the in-season tournament. The ThePatriotWay handed a handsome amount of $15. We also had Knuck, if you buck, getting his game of the week winner. We had Zesty Williams with the highest scoring team, and Cheeeesehead getting the highest scoring starter. Team banks will be closing up here after this week. Make sure you get the dubs. And wins over opposite division, week 13. As you can see, only one more matchup left to go, and that is Jay Resendez 3 taking on Second City Saints in our final Guardians versus Villains matchup of the year. Well, I shouldn't say of the year, of the regular season, because we will have one in the postseason. And lowest scoring team of the week for the second week in a row, Second City Saints 103.24. Rankings for the Villains division, as it's been all season, Cobra leading the way at the number 1 seed, locked up the number 1 seed for the Villains division. Coming in at number 2, the reigning defending shit-off champion Irish Goodbyes, who will not be in the shit-offs this year. At number 3, Zesty Williams, who is also locked up his playoff spot after last week. Coming in at number 4, Cheeeesehead, with a big time win last week. And coming in at number 5, we have Second City Saints, who has not been focused all season, but we will see if he can do something in the shit-offs. And for the Guardians, Jay Resendez 3 jumps all the way up to the number 1 seed. The reigning defending undisputed champion will defend that championship in the postseason. Coming in at number 2, we have Cero Miedo, which means coming in at number 3, these guys have had playoff spots locked up for about 5 weeks now. The Patriot Way. At number 4, we still have your tribal chief, who has secured his spot in the shit-offs, as well as his counterpart, who he will have to face, Knuck if you buck, rounding out the rest of the Guardians division. And now we look to the overall ranks. Jay Resendez 3 coming in at number 1, Cobra number 2, Cero Miedo number 3, The Patriot Way number 4, Irish Goodbyes number 5, Zesty Williams number 6, Your Tribal Chief number 7, Knuck if you buck number 8, Cheeeesehead coming in at number 9. And Second City Saints has felt pretty comfortable down there, so he rounds out the top 10 overall rankings for the league. And now here, let's take a look at the shit off. No longer a projection. This is the bracket. Everybody has locked their place in. We will have Your Tribal Chief taking on Knuck if you buck next week, and Second City Saints taking on Cheeeesehead to see who will be the loser this year. And now time for the bracket that everybody cares about. The only one that matters. The one that's here. The one that's now. The one that will be locked in after this weekend. Cobra with the number 1 seed in the Villains division. Jay Resendez 3 currently number 1 seed in the Guardians division, but that could change this week. Irish Goodbyes and Zesty Williams both clinching playoff spots, and we will see how that seeding goes as Zesty Williams becomes the number 2 seed with a win or the number 3 seed with a loss. Same thing with Irish Goodbyes, number 2 seed with a win/tie, or number 3 seed with a loss. Cero Miedo, number 1 seed with a win, and Jay Resendez 3 loss. The Patriot Way needs to win and have both Jay Resendez 3 and Cero Miedo lose, and Jay Resendez 3 needs a win or a loss by both the Patriot Way and Cero Miedo. Our unsanctioned talk game of the week, as it's been for the past several years. And by several, I mean a couple years. But nevertheless, the drum roll for everybody in the game of the week. And kicking off our unsanctioned talk game of the week, your Tribal Chief takes on the Patriot Way. Patriot Way up 80.40 to nothing. Wow. Didn't expect to see that. 187.62 to 105.12. The Patriot Way is projected to win and definitely needs to win to try to get that #1 seed for the Guardians division, that bye week, that crucial bye week for the team. Our next game, Knuck If You Buck takes on Cero, Miedo. And currently, Knuck If You Buck is up 33.16 to 0 and is projected to win in a close one, 157.97 to 156.54. That could be as stated again, Cero needs a dub this week and a loss by Jay Resendez 3, the reigning defending champion. Unfortunately, I don't think he understands, but Jay Resendez 3 is facing one of the worst teams in the league, Second City Saints, this week. Jay Resendez 3 is up 18.20 to 14.30 and is projected to win 165.77 to 149.07. He could very well lock up, at least he should lock up that #1 seed with a win this week. And heading over to the Villains division, we have Cobra taking on Cheeeesehead. Cobra currently up 36.14 to 10.80 and is projected to win 167.48 to 138.06. Both of these teams not really much to play, not really playing for too much. But it's another game on the schedule, so I expect to see nothing different. And now, our final game of the week, Irish Goodbyes takes on Zesty Williams in one of the most interesting matchups of the week. Irish Goodbyes up 38.7 to 0 and is projected to win 187.03 to 148.64. Both of them playing for that #2 seed. Not that it really matters, but hey, for some bragging rights, we shall see how this one goes, how this one ends. Fellas, it is the final week of the regular season before the shit-offs and the playoffs start next week. Let's fucking go!